Dear MSc students, how are you? I wish that you are fine and safe, feeling healthy with your parents. And I hope that we are going to have a fabulous school year full of love, safety, and learning. It's the first online chemistry class. Please just remember that chemistry is the science of love. First of all, let us talk about the rules for online classes. Number 1, be ready before 10 to 15 minutes before attend any class. Number 2, choose a comfortable place and keep your books and copybooks nearby. Keep your device charged full and check if your internet works properly. Put headphones or earphones to stop hearing any surrounding noise. Participate with full, focused attention. Be safe. Don't give any of your personal information to anybody you don't know. Don't eat and drink during your online study. And finally, check in daily and turn in assignment on time. Due to coronavirus, some of your lessons will be attended online. Don't be worried or upset. Just remember that your recorded lessons and videos are with you. You can repeat them several times to get all the information and ask your teacher if you have any question and facing any difficulties. Welcome back after a long time to the first online chemistry class this year with me, Ms. Mona Amhas. Till meeting you in the school, please take good care of yourselves and don't forget to get and follow all the precautions to save yourselves and avoid infection by COVID-19. This scholastic year is an exceptional year because of COVID-19 and the conditions or the bad conditions in our country. For this reason, chemistry program was reduced and some lessons were suspended. The parts that will be covered this year are Part 2, which is chemical kinetics. In a chemical kinetics or the chemical kinetics, known as a reaction kinetic, is a branch of a physical chemistry that is considered with understanding the rates of the chemical reactions. Part 3, which is chemical equilibrium, is a condition in the course of a reversible reaction. The chemical equilibrium is the state in which both reactants and the products are present in concentrations which have no further tendency to change with time. Part 4 talk about pH, strong acid, strong base, pH meter titration. Part 5 that talk about organic chemistry, which is the study of the structure, properties, composition, reactions, and also the preparation of carbon-containing compounds. First 4th to 6th week from this scholastic year, we are going to make a small revision about the informations that you will use them this year and were taken in grade 10 and grade 11. First of all, we are going to remember how to prepare a solution. The first case to prepare a solution is by dissolution. What do we mean by dissolution? Dissolution is a physical change by dissolving the solid solute in a solvent. The materials that we are need to prepare a solution by dissolution are: Number 1, a water glass, a precise balance, spatula, funnel, volumetric flask, wash bottle, and a dropper. And now, you need it to prepare the solution. And to calculate the mass of the solute, you must remember these rules. First of all, the number of the solute equal to the mass of the solute divided by the molar mass of solute, which means that the mass of the solute will be equal to the number of solute multiplied by the molar mass of solute. But the concentration or the molar concentration is equal to the number of mole of solute divided by the volume of solution. And the volume of solution here, the volume that I ask you to prepare it, which is the volume of the volumetric flask. Thus, the number of the mole of solute will be equal to the concentration multiplied by the V of solution. Then, substitute the result here and the previous rule. We will get by substitution that the mass of the solute will be equal to the concentration times the volume of the solution times or multiply by molar mass of solute. Let us solve this application to determine how can we calculate, or to know how can we calculate the mass of the solute that I needed to prepare a solution. Number one, I ask you to prepare 500 milliliter of solution. So I ask you to prepare this volume of solution, which is 500 milliliter of diammonium phosphate of concentration 0.5 mole per liter. So here you have the volume of solution that must be prepared and the concentration of solution for this, or that also must be prepared. To prepare the solution, first of all, I want to know how many the mass of the solute that I needed to prepare the solution from it. So we need to calculate the mass, and to calculate the mass we follow the rules. We start by the concentration, which is equal number of the mole of the volume of solution. You have the volume of the solution and you have the concentration. You can calculate the number of mole. Be careful here to transfer milliliter to liter, because here the concentration is mole per liter, and then we get mole, which is the number of the mole here, known as a unit mole. Then by substitution, a number of the mole equal mass of the solute divided by the molar mass of solute, and the molar mass of solute must be calculated from the given here and the molar mass for each element by multiplying the numbers by each molar mass to get this result. After that, the mass of the solute will be equal to the number of the mole of solute multiplied by the molar mass of solute that is calculated from here, and the result will be, or the mass will be, 33 grams. Please solve it alone and you must reach to this result. And now, procedure. The steps that you must follow them in the lab to prepare a solution are: Step 1. Weigh by using a precise balance, spatula, and watch glass the mass equal 33 grams of solute. Then introduce the mass into the volumetric flask by using a funnel. After that, you must rinse with this wash bottle the wash glass and the funnel with the distilled water to transfer all the remaining quantity or all the particles into the volumetric flask. So introduce this mass, which is 33 grams, into a volumetric flask V equal 500 milliliter, which is equal to the volume of the solution you need to prepare using a funnel, and then rinse the wash glass and the funnel by using a wash bottle that contains a distilled water. After that, add distilled water to the third and shake till homogenize. Finally, add distilled water to the lime mark, but be careful here Before approaching to reach the line mark, you can use the dropper and add a drop by drop from a distilled water, and you must be careful that this volumetric flask at your eye level. You can know that it or the volume reaches to the line mark, or the solution reaches to the line mark, the volume of the solution reaches to the line mark when it makes a tangent at the line mark. Then invert and declose. Now you will watch this video that shows how to prepare a solution.
After calculating the mass of solute that you need, you can then weigh this into a weighing boat using a top pan balance. You should use an appropriate balance, probably 1 to 2 or 3 decimal places. After weighing, the solute can then be transferred into a glass beaker. And it's important to make sure that all of the solute is transferred, and to do this you should rinse the weighing boat with distilled water.
As you hear,
you now need to ensure that all of the solute has been dissolved in distilled water, so you should add more water if required, and you should swirl the solution.
And the beaker.
You may also need to use a glass stirring rod,
or directly introduce them to the volumetric flask, but I do not prefer this way.
And once you're happy that all of the solute has dissolved, you can transfer your solution into a volumetric flask using a glass funnel. Take care not to spill any solution, because if you do so, you will have to start the whole process again. Now it's vital to rinse the beaker to ensure that none of your original solution is left behind. You will be required to do this a number of times, and if you're not sure what the guidelines from your teacher are, ask how many times you should do this. In any case, it should be 2 or 3 times. And having rinsed the beaker, it's also important to rinse the glass funnel to make sure that none of the original solution is left in there either. Once you're happy with the rinsing, you can remove the funnel and place a stopper into the volumetric flask. And gently shaking the flask at this stage ensures that all of the solute is in solution, and is easier to do than when the flask has been topped up with water.
As you see here, with the rinsing, make us sure.
And now we're ready to fill the flask up to the line. This can be done using distilled water from a wash bottle.
Be sure that all the solute introduced in the
As you get closer to the line, it's important to take great care, because if you overshoot, you'll have to start the whole thing again. When you're within a couple of centimetres of the line, make sure you're viewing at eye level and add the water very slowly in small portions until the bottom of the meniscus is touching the line. You may want to use a dropping pipette at this stage if you're a little nervous.
Here we put the volumetric.
And here you can see that the bottom of the meniscus is touching the line, so we've filled the flask to the correct level.
And then start to add, when we approach to reach the line mark, start add drop by drop by dropper.
Once the solution is made up, it should be stored with the stopper firmly in place. Before using the solution, you must ensure that it is homogeneous, which can be done by gently inverting and shaking the flask. We now have a standard solution which is ready to be used.
So here, to prepare a solution that contains a specific concentration of a substance, it's necessary to dissolve a desired number of moles of solute in enough amount of solvent, or a specific given amount of solvent, to give the desired final volume of solution. I wish that you remembered all these information as well, and wish to meet you soon in my school class. Till then, stay safe at home and take a good care of yourselves wherever you go, and follow all the preventive precautions.